welcome back. Kai Smith is our Realtor of the Week over with Property First Realty Group, also located by our GMFS Mortgage Prairieville branch off of Swamp Road. And Kai joins us today. How are you, Kai?
Good. I'm good.
Now, we've
Nice
had
to
you
be
on
here.
the show before, so I'm glad to have you back.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. So, I want to talk first about the schedule and routine of an agent.
Okay, a normal day for me is once I drop off my kids at school, I am in the office making my phone calls, scheduling appointments, real interesting stuff. Putting out fires sometimes, following up on appointments. So it's very time consuming.
What's your favorite part about being a realtor?
My favorite part is getting to meet new people. It's my favorite part. And then just actually making a connection with those people. Eventually, they just start feeling like family. That's my favorite part of being a real estate agent.
And, you know, we talked about what your typical day was like when you go to the office in the morning, but do you keep strict office hours, or do you keep strict hours, or do you work sometimes on the weekends, or do you show people homes on,
Absolutely. I've shown homes all the way up to 11 o'clock at night sometimes. So the appointments and stuff like that are usually on my clients' timelines and, whenever we can get together and work stuff out. But I do keep regular hours too at the office. It's all just day by day, really. It's hard to time block and make a perfect schedule or ideal schedule just because it's all based on your client's needs. And sometimes we have clients that work shift work or, we have to make ourselves available all the time.
So what is the best and worst thing about being an agent?
Well, the best thing is meeting new clients, and then the worst thing is sometimes setting expectations for people and then them not hearing what they want to. It's the coaxing, people through the process, and sometimes it's emotional and they're not hearing things that they want to hear. And
so how do you keep people in focus with where they need to be and also in line with where they want to be through the home buying and selling process?
Well, for me, it's just, being honest with them about what to expect and setting those expectations. And that's the worst part sometimes, is having to tell people bad news and still working through the process to get where you want to go.
How is the market right now?
It's slowed down a little bit, which is normal. I mean, it's kind of just been up and down this year. It's kind of been crazy. We saw a big drop in July, but things back up, in the fall. So it's just kind of been all over the place. Usually you can analyze and see things. The shift is kind of weird right now. So, but it's still good.
So I think when you're trying to set expectations for the home buyer or the home seller, you might want to start where?
Oh goodness. The initial appointment where if you're working as the listing agent, you're wanting to set expectations on price, helping with the condition of the property. On the buyer side, especially if they're a first-time home buyer, just walking them through the process step by step so they're comfortable with the process. And every house is unique, every client is unique. So it helps, to have somebody that's been in the business for a while and really does it full time. So, because it is very time consuming, there's always changes and stuff that are happening, and that's the important part of it.
So if you're a first time home buyer and you don't know what to do, and here you go, we're going to give you a call. And so what things are you going to have them do first? What are the steps that you follow?
Absolutely. The first thing is I like to make initial contact with a person face to face. Most of the time it is at whatever home they're wanting to look at. And during that meeting, I like to find out if they're approved for a loan, if they've ever bought a home before, if they're a first-time home buyer, if they've been pre-approved with a lender, giving them, the best lender to work with, and all that good stuff. Walking them through inspections and appraisals and all that fun stuff.
A lot of people start this whole home selling process and they want to sell it themselves. They think or they even want to buy a home. They think they're going to get a better deal if they do a for sale by owner.
Yes.
But that's not the case.
It's not. No, it is free to work with an agent as a buyer. The seller pays the commission. But on the seller side, because you have so much more exposure to the market, a lot of times I know I've gotten for sale by owners more than what they were asking, even after paying commission. So it really is the best bang for your buck, unless you're ready to take on another full-time job. If you are working to sell your home and get it on the market, and get it sold for the best price possible, it is important to work with an agent.
What about the legal ramifications of a realtor? I mean, just having that legal representation alone should be enough that pushes people over the edge, and if they're even thinking about trying to do this on their own.
Yeah, a lot of people don't, I guess, hear some of the horror stories out there of trying to sell their home on their own, and then, if you have people trying to back out, and what are they legally bound to, and what are you legally bound to? That's where we can definitely step in and be helpful, and we work with the lender, title companies, brokers, anybody that we can to help facilitate that. So.
And we're talking to Kai Smith, who's a realtor with Property First Realty Group. Kai, how can we get in touch with you?
My phone number is super easy. It's 225-266-8900, and that's my cell phone, so they can call or text that number.
And your office is right here off of Swamp Road, right next to the GMFS Mortgage Prairieville branch. And it's easy to get to. Beautiful office, by the way. You need to stop in and see Kai. And kind of let you sit down and talk to these home buyers and people who are wanting to sell their homes, so they can kind of get a grasp of who you are. And if someone is looking to find a realtor, what advice do you give them when they're deciding who to pick?
Well, I tell sellers to interview at least 3 agents when they're going to put their home on the market, to see who you best will fit with personality-wise, knowledge base and all that stuff. I recommend interviewing 3 people. For a buyer's agent, it's kind of the same process, like who you feel comfortable with, who you feel like you can trust. Someone that's going to be honest with you, and not just, tell you what you need to hear. I love to protect my clients, and anything that I wouldn't throw money at is what I advise them to do as well. So just being smart, and I always go back to the first time home buyers, because it's an overwhelming process if you've never done it before, and just being smart with that.
What kind of resources do you have available for people who are looking to list with you?
Well, we have, I have a listing appointment that I go over with them to set those expectations of what we're looking at. We pull numbers from MLS, and we can usually tell, how fast it's going to sell. That way, when you're going to put it on the market, about how long you have to take before you have to find somewhere else to go. And then if you need to sell before you move into a new place, and working out that situation together, it's helpful to have the vendors that we have and the contacts that we have to help facilitate all that.
How important are good photographs?
Oh, absolutely. People will fall in love with a house before they even see it in person, just because, houses are sold online now. No one hardly picks up the paper anymore and flips through and looks at information. They're looking at pictures online. So pictures are definitely very important.
Where can we take a look at some of the homes that you have listed?
PropertyFirstRealtyGroup.com is where my personal website is. I also have a profile on Zillow. You can look at Zillow.com/Kai Smith. and it'll show all of my listings and also reviews that my past clients have said about me.
Well, Kai, it is great to visit with you again for this edition of Mortgage Matters. If you want to get in touch with Kai, you can reach her any number of ways. One is just stop over here by Property First Realty Group over off of Swamp Road, or you can look her up online, either on Zillow or Property First Realty Group's website, or you can give her a phone call. Her cell phone, so easy, 225-266-8900. Again, that's 225-266-8900. 8900. Kai Smith, our Realtor of the Week, and we'll be back with more after this.